This is just a quick follow-up regarding the interview I had with J.R. Coca. He gave me an update specifically regarding travel insurance, and that's what we'll talk about. We'll also talk about a brief summary of what is currently required, just like a refresher course. Stay with me, we'll talk about it. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I interviewed J.R. Coca. He is an immigration consultant. And one of the things that he mentioned that sort of surprised me is that travel insurance is not required for Balikbayan, who is not a Filipino citizen or dual citizen. I said, really? That's music to my ears. So I asked him to go ahead and send me a link or copy of PDF document that speaks to this. And he sent me an email yesterday. Unfortunately, I'm very unhappy to tell you that he was wrong. I am right. He said he was not correct in saying that it is still required for Balikbayan unless you are a Filipino citizen or a dual citizen, not former Filipino citizen. Former Filipino citizens are still required to have travel insurance. Okay? Hope that's clear. The only people who are exempted from travel insurance requirement are citizens of the Philippines and dual citizen of Philippines and another foreign country. For most of my viewers, that's United States. So if you are a dual citizen, you don't have to. If you're a Filipino citizen, meaning you have a green card, you never lost your citizenship, you don't have to. I was so sad to hear that. I was hoping, even though I said, gee, even if I'm wrong, I wish he was correct, because I'll be very happy to receive that kind of news. Unfortunately, it's not. So now let's review what is the current requirement. And let's take a look at the chart that I prepared so that you will very easily understand it, okay? Now, in this chart, you will see Filipino citizens. These are green card holders who are still Filipino citizens. Dual citizens of the Philippines, so they became an American citizen or a foreign country, another foreign country, but regained it by applying for dual citizenship. We have Balikbayan, who is a former Filipino citizen but is no longer a Filipino citizen and did not file for dual citizenship. Okay? So I hope you understand all this. Then this is the visa-free tourist from 157 countries. This is under Executive Order number 408. Those who are required to have a visa because they don't fall within this 157, and then other visa holders. The headings here on this section is the same. And this speaks up to other documents and quarantine requirement. This is the entry document, visa. Now, let's look at this one first because this is easy over here. One Health Pass registration. This is required of everybody with no exception. Negative rt-pcr test 48 hours before departure, required of everybody. However, there's a new update in that they will now accept an antigen test, but within 24 hours. If you have PCR, it should be within 48 hours before your departure. Okay? And the antigen test, this is not updated yet, the antigen test must be taken within 24 hours. Not within 1 day, but within 24 hours. Fully vaccinated travelers, there is no quarantine for everyone. They just need to monitor it for 7 days. So that's voluntary thing. If you're not that. Okay, and then the accompanying child under 12 years old will follow whatever is the parents' vax and unvax protocol. So if a child is unvaccinated, but the parents are vaccinated, they will just follow the parents' protocol. If, on the other hand, if you are 12 to 17 years old, this applies to everybody, you will have hotel quarantine, test on the 5th day, and finish 14-day quarantine. Okay? That's home quarantine though, not hotel. Home quarantine. Over here, it's just 7-day monitoring. Just watch yourself. Make sure you don't have the symptoms. Now, there is an exemption on unvaccinated adult traveler. They are allowed to quarantine also, similar to this, hotel quarantine, but that only applies to Philippine citizens and dual citizens. Does not apply to anybody else. That means foreigners definitely are not, unless they're vaccinated, are not allowed to enter the country. You have to be vaccinated. The only people allowed to enter the Philippines unvaccinated but with a quarantine are citizens or dual citizens, Philippine citizens or dual citizens. Okay? Now, before we get to this travel insurance thing, let's look at the top status here. And this time we're going to go down vertically. If you're a Filipino citizen, that means you're a green card holder in the United States, and you did not give up your Philippine citizenship, all you need is a Philippine passport. That's in addition to whatever is on this side, okay? Dual citizens of the Philippines, U.S. foreign passport, Philippine passport, or if no Philippine passport, bring dual citizenship ID. That's what you need, okay? Balikbayan. This Balikbayan must be fully vaccinated. Okay? That means if you are coming home as a former Filipino citizen, you are a Balikbayan. But you are not a Filipino citizen, that means you are a foreigner. You are a Balikbayan, but you are a foreigner. You must be fully vaccinated. You must bring your U.S. passport and your Philippine birth certificate and the marriage certificate. Okay, this is for foreign spouses. If you are single coming back as Balikbayan, of course you will not have this. Now, visa-free, people coming from visa-free countries, including foreigners. If you are from a visa-free country, you must be fully vaccinated. Bring your U.S. passport. You don't need any of this, obviously. Now, if you are not part of the 157 408 countries, you will need a 9A visa, and you will need to bring your foreign passport or U.S. passport. And you will need a visa or entry exemption certificate. Other visa holders, the same thing. Now, let's go through here on this side of it. With respect to the travel insurance requirement, we already discussed this whole area. With respect to the travel insurance requirement, I think this is where J.R. Coca made a mistake. It used to be that the Balikbayan was not going to be required travel health insurance, but very quickly the next day they made a change or clarification maybe that travel insurance will be required if you are a Balikbayan but you are not a Filipino citizen. You did not get a dual, you received your U.S. citizenship, which means you lost your Philippine citizenship, and you did not apply for dual. So you are a Balikbayan, you are a former Filipino citizen, but you are a foreigner. And they say you need to have travel insurance. This is the one that changed. It used to be that this is unchecked. Maybe that's what he was thinking of. And or is it the return ticket? I think it's also in the return ticket. If you are a Balikbayan, either that or this return ticket, it used to be that if you were a foreigner or former Filipino citizen, but now a foreigner, you did not apply for dual, you were required to have a return ticket. And they said, no, that requirement is being dropped. So it's one or the two, either this part here or this part that got changed. And he was thinking of well, what he was thinking of, that we are not, Balikbayans are not required to have travel insurance. No, they are required to have travel insurance. You have to be Filipino citizen or dual citizen to be free of that. Now, visa-free, the tourist without any visa requirement, you will need to have travel insurance and you will need to have a return ticket. Okay? So here again, if you're a foreigner but you're a spouse of a dual citizen, therefore Balikbayan, you are not required to have a return ticket. Here you are required to have a return ticket. Those who don't qualify here on the visa-free country, you'll be required a 9A visa. So you'll be required a return ticket, and this, other visa holders, I made an exclusion of 13A and SRRV. You are required to have a return ticket except for 13A and SRRV. The thing that is not clear to me is why this 9A visa, no mention was made about the 9A visa and other visa holders. And I think the reason they did not mention that, now this is just my speculation, is that they will have to contact the Philippine consulate. They'll have to apply for a visa. And at that point, they may be required to have travel insurance. On the other hand, I could be wrong. Maybe, in fact, they're not going to be required any travel insurance. I don't know. If any of my viewers are aware of that, if you fall in this category, you are from, let me see, I think Pakistan is not part of the 157 visa-free country. Let me know if you were required to get that. Okay, any country, not Pakistan is just an example. And same thing with other visa holders. If any of the viewers had an experience on this, I'll appreciate it if you let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, so that's what I have so far. This is the current situation as I know it. I am not aware yet of any changes to this. In fact, one vlogger mentioned that unvax effective April 1. I'm not saying this now, okay? I'm not saying this. Another vlogger said, as of April 1, unvaccinated foreigners will be allowed. I hope it's true. I hope. But I'm not going to make that announcement unless I see an IATF resolution to that effect. I have not heard anything yet. So let me know if you heard something. Well, better yet, hearing is something just like I heard. Don't believe it, okay? When you have something definite, you see it on the website. In fact, even the website is not necessarily correct all the time. But at least if you see something, do include a link when you let me know that, oh yeah, it is true. Please include a link so I can click through it and investigate further on the matter. So that's all we have. And I'm sorry again that that was not true. I was right and he was wrong, but I can understand. Everybody makes a mistake. I make a mistake sometimes. And I was hoping that was one mistake I made, but it's not. So, foreigners, including former Filipino citizen who is not a dual citizen, are still required to have this travel insurance. Sorry to say. Thank you so much. Please do share this with some of your friends and relatives who may be interested in going back home. I'll appreciate it if you click like and if you subscribe to my channel. And please do click on the notification bell so you get notified of all new postings. God bless and make it a great day.